Hi, it's April 1st, 2022, and I'm very tired. Um, but today marks a very cool milestone, I suppose, for the channel, but it also marks the ability for me to finally close a chapter of my life that's needed to be closed for a very long time. Um, as a lot of you guys know, if you've been watching me long enough, when the pandemic hit North America in March of 2020, they closed the US Canada border. And when that happened, my ex girlfriend and I became separated because she lives in Maine and I live here. And 9 months later, we broke up. And then 5 months after that, she dropped a bombshell on me. And she got a new girlfriend and was moving out of the house that she had been living in and told me to find a place to put all my stuff that had been sitting in her house or say goodbye to it forever. And I had a lot of stuff in her house. Some of it I had already owned and brought there to use in her house. And then a lot of stuff that I had bought online and had shipped to her house to pick up, before the pandemic, but also in the beginning weeks of the pandemic when we thought the border was only going to be closed for a couple of weeks. So I had a bunch of belongings in her house that suddenly I had to scramble and find a storage unit, which I did. And she threw all my stuff in that storage unit. That was 10 months ago that happened. And today, and this is not an April Fool's joke, I don't partake in April Fools. Today, sitting on the floor in front of me over here, is all the stuff that was in that storage unit. It is home. And the reason I was finally able to get it home is because on this day, the government began allowing governments, I guess, the Canadian government and the US government, are allowing people to freely cross the border back and forth once again. I still can't cross the border because my Nexus card expired during the pandemic, and they've given me a 10 to 12 month period before they'll finally renew it. So I still can't cross the border, but my mom can, and I am so thankful to her. She went over the border today. Her and a friend of hers loaded all the stuff into her car and she brought it back. And I met her at the border. I paid $66 in duty fees, which is way less than I thought I'd be paying, so I was happy about that. And everything is home, finally, after 2 years. And I'm exhausted, you can probably tell. It's been a very stressful day and a very physically demanding day. But I'm very happy that it's here. Unfortunately, it turns out that the storage unit that I rented for $45 a month American for 10 months was so poorly constructed that a rodent got into it and destroyed a bunch of boxes that things were sitting in, and it shit everywhere. There was an enormous amount of rodent poop, pretty big rodent poop. I'm guessing it was a rat that got in. When Mom got there and opened the unit up, she sent me pictures, and the floor was just covered in rodent poop. And I thought, oh no, oh my god, is all my stuff destroyed? No. Thankfully, no. the rodent only attacked the boxes. It wasn't interested. It attacked one thing besides boxes. It attacked some plastic bottles that I didn't even think I was getting back anyway. They were bottles I bought to hold photographic chemicals back when I thought I was going to try developing my own film, which I have no interest in anymore. So the rodent destroyed the bottles. It chewed holes in the bottles, but it didn't chew anything else, which I'm super thankful for. The unit was non-climate controlled, so stuff has been out in temperature swings. You know, it went through a summer and then a winter, and stuff is very covered in grime and dirt. Just that type of, you know, basement-y grime, when stuff just sits in a basement and accumulates grime somehow. Everything's covered in that. But it's all intact. An animal didn't destroy anything besides boxes and plastic bottles, so I'm very happy. So it's all here. Without further ado, let's turn the camera around on what's sitting on the floor over there, and let me show you what's been sitting in that storage unit, finally home, and a lot of things that there are going to be new videos made of in the future. Starting off, this is an RCA VDT 625 VHS VCR. This is from 1980, I believe, and it was among the last of the fully mechanical VHS VCRs that were made by Panasonic. This was a Goodwill purchase. I think the item price was like 10 bucks. I think it'll be a miracle if this thing works, especially after spending 10 months in a unclimate controlled storage unit. The back casing is kind of effed up because they packed it super poorly for shipping, so thanks Goodwill. And yeah, I think this is going to be a miracle if this thing ever works again. Does it even eject? Oh, it does eject. So yeah, I'll see about getting this guy working, but Lord knows if it's ever actually going to function again. This is a Craig model 2107 reel-to-reel tape recorder, late 60s. This was a Goodwill find for like 10 bucks. It has no tape reels, so if anybody wants to donate a 5-inch reel of tape and a take-up spool to the channel, I'd be greatly appreciated. If not, I'll figure something out. I'll either buy them from eBay or whatever. Of course, all depending on if I can get this working. Hopefully so, because this is one of the things I've been most excited about. A Casio TV 3100. This was one of the really high-end Casio TVs of the late 80s, early 90s. I think the chances that this has good capacitors in it are quite slim. But I got lucky with a couple of other Casio TVs of the same vintage I bought, so maybe I'll get lucky with this one. And then in this canvas bag is a Motorola M900 bag phone, one of the digital bag phones that Motorola made in the 2000s. There it is. I paid an exorbitant amount of money for this 2 years ago. I don't even know if it's unlocked. It could be locked to a carrier. And it's obviously a 3G phone, so it won't even work in the US anymore. We do have 3G in Canada until 2025, so if this works and it's unlocked, I do have a couple of more years that I can use it. So we'll see how that pans out. This is a Voice of Music reel-to-reel tape recorder. Bought this on eBay. It comes with 3 reels of tape and the take-up spool. And yeah, I'm excited to see if this thing works. This is one of the other things I was super excited about. Although it's a small 3.5-inch reel battery-powered unit, it is capstan drive. It's not rim drive. So hopefully this guy works, because it should be really cool to play around with. That's a film camera I bought at a thrift store in Maine long ago. It's a Minolta Maxim 70 with a fairly nice 28 to 70 zoom lens on it. And yeah, I did use this. I shot a roll of film on it. Does it have film in it? It does have film in it. I'll just throw that film away because that's got pictures of my ex and I. But yeah, that seems to have stayed in good shape, which is very nice. And then finally, the Norstar 6x16 and my Norstar phones are here. They are home. That's excellent. Now I can finally start playing with that Norstar Compact ICS. Once I get all the disease off these phones. They are so unbelievably filthy. This white one has turned yellow in the storage unit, so that's nice. And yeah, like everything else, there's a lot of horrific grime and probably rodent droppings and stuff to clean off them. And then I don't have them here to show you, but I do have them. They are in the trunk of my car at Mom's house because I had to drive back here in Mom's car. There's an iPod Photo, which actually does work, I believe. There's a Sony halogen video light that goes on a handy cam. There's the other Norstar ATA, the analog terminal adapter. And I forget what else, but there's a couple other small things. Oh, also in the trunk of my car at Mom's house, a Smith Corona Coronet Automatic 12 typewriter, which I really could care less if the thing works. I originally bought it so I could rob the, hopefully, if it has it, and it's removable, rob the one slug from it to put on my Smith Corona Electra that didn't come with a number one slug. So that's why I bought that. It may work, but I don't care if it does or doesn't. Something that isn't in this bunch of stuff that I wish was were two vintage General Electric Circline fluorescent lamp adapters that I had installed in my ex's house that she lived in. It's my own doing. I remember telling her, I said I'd like them back, but I wouldn't, if she didn't want to have to get up on a chair and screw them out of the ceiling and everything, you know, whatever. So that's on me. Now I wish I had them, but I gave her permission to not save them, so that's on me. Oh well, small potatoes. So yeah, there it is. Between this stuff and all the other crap in my apartment, because I've had so many projects on the go, I can't even walk through here right now. But boy, it's been a long 2 years and a very tense 10 months that these things were in that storage unit. I had no idea if anything was actually there, you know. I figured I could trust my ex, but I really had, you know, no idea. Unfortunately, I thought mold was going to be the issue when I finally got these things home, but it turned out mold wasn't the issue. Rodent intrusion was the issue. And it's too bad that I apparently rented such a poor quality storage unit that a rat or whatever was able to get in and start tearing into boxes and stuff. And a couple of people have asked me, they said, hey, you know, isn't the owner of the storage facility liable for the fact that their storage unit is so crappy that something got in and, you know, messed with your stuff? Yeah, probably. Do I care enough to start a potentially legal battle between someone in a country that I can't even legally travel into right now? No, I don't care enough. I don't. I'm just glad this is all done. Worrying about this stuff and wondering if I would ever get it back has emotionally prolonged my breakup with my ex for 2 years. And I am just really glad to have it home now. And honestly, I don't give a crap about anything else. I don't give a crap about the missing, you know, the GE Circline adapters that I didn't get back, you know, in the end. You know, stuff getting, my unit getting broken into by a rodent. It just, whatever. I'm just so over it. The last couple years have just broken me, and pretty much the only thing keeping me sane is drowning myself in more projects and hobbies than I can handle. Well, that's about it. It'll probably be, I'm going to be generous with myself, probably a year or two before I get to everything here. But, you know, I might be able to discipline myself and get to stuff sooner than that. Pretty much everything, like, that's going to need new caps and probably some mechanical restoration. That's going to need new caps and probably some mechanical restoration. Definitely this is probably going to need new caps and mechanical restoration. And, of course, the North Star, I never, you know, I had the 6x16 in my possession for years and didn't finish all the videos I wanted to make about it just because there is so much to cover if you want to comprehensively cover a North Star 6x16. So now I have to ask myself if I want to set up the 6x16 again and finish that, or do I want to move straight on to the compact ICS? I don't know. That's something I'll have to decide for myself. But there you go. This is the big stuff that I've been waiting on for 2 years. A bunch of little things still in the trunk of my car. Sorry I didn't have that here to show you, but I wanted to get this video up today. I hope you guys are excited for some of the things you see here. I would really love if everything turns out to, you know, work or be able to be made working by myself with my limited electronics restoration experience. But I'm really excited to have this stuff back, and I hope you are too. And yeah, I'm ready to close this chapter of my life that's been dragging on for 2 years, that I should probably get therapy for, if I'm being honest with myself, and move on and start working on some really cool old vintage electronics. I'm going to take a moment to thank my Patreon supporters. That storage unit cost me 45 American dollars a month, so about 60 Canadian dollars a month. So all in all, about $600 I paid for that storage unit to store this crap. Thanks to my Patreon supporters and to you guys who are watching this video. You know, every bit of money helps. It helped keep this stuff safe until I could get it home, and I really, really appreciate it. So thank you so much. But until next time, I'll get out all the Lysol I have and start cleaning this stuff down. And I hope I see you guys in the next video. Bye.